Yo, yo, it's your boy Professor Pippage back at it again, coming for another weekly review. I didn't put out much footage last week because, price was just consolidating. For the most part, when I got to go to make my video with my son, he was in the background making a ton of noise. So then I had to cut that video short and I never did get back to it. So this week, back with another analysis. Just looking at the charts overall after last week, consolidation on GJ. I might have took maybe 4 trades on this. The price action started on the 29th. So right up in here, I called out longs from this area. And yeah, that thing just took off. Did not hold longs because once I got up and I saw this price action come back down, I had stops and profit. As you go through a 1 hour. This was an entry back over. I entered after this candle here closed bullish. Why did I do that? Because the previous price action showed me, you got a low, a high, higher, low, high, high, higher, low. I saw us come down. This complex correction had already happened. You can see it better on the smaller time frames. But once I saw we found resistance, back into this structure that gave us, the previous higher low and that gave us the higher high. I just went out on experience and said, okay, well, I'm gonna take the buy from here. And if price comes back below, and breaks back through this level, then we're obviously going short and, the trade is invalid. But because of previous price action from August all the way up until that was still the end of August was bullish. So I was expecting that bullish continuation, strength, momentum, however you want to look at it, price action to continue bullish. The original level I was targeting was a 4-hour order block back over here somewhere, which is where price action actually stopped. So this is it here. I did catch shorts from this level here. I saw this big candle pushing up into that 4-hour order block level. And then just based off of the trade that I missed 2 weeks ago was how I found this entry here. Just back testing what I saw 2 weeks ago as far as price coming up to a untested level that I would like to take a short from. I kind of, did a little research, did some tools, some cranking and some analysis, and I picked out a short from this level here. I watched this candle push into that 4-hour level, and then I saw this bearish reaction. I saw price stall out here, very, very small candles. No more bullish presence, and as soon as this candle closed like this, I took a short. I had a TP1 based off of this level here. I took some profit here and let it run. And then as you can see, when NFP broke out on Friday, we went back and hit my trail and stopped. But I had a TP1 here, TP2 down here, and then expecting it to come back and probably retest some of these lows back in over here, but that didn't happen. So looking at this now, I've kind of already went through my selection of pairs that I usually like to look at, and I've already marked them up. So I kind of just want to go through what I've seen from the higher time frames on down, then I'll bring in my analysis. So for the most part, starting off with the DXY, you got this big bearish trend starting way back in March of 2020, which is not a whole 100% relevant, but it becomes part of relevancy when you see price action start to reverse and start to push back, upward. This comes back into relevancy when you're looking for levels of resistance, levels of take profit, support, resistance, supply and demand, and that sort of thing. So with this previous price action here, it's mostly just consolidated. And when I see price action like this, like back over here, I really don't look to trade simply because this is, I would say, trading in a range, but it's still pushing up, but at the same time, it's too tight. The levels don't really make sense. You can get clapped on the shorts and the longs. So trading this price action is really based upon experience to me. So based off the weekly, I see that we are pushing bullish, but we are retracing a good bit. And then once you push down to the daily, you can see this little bearish trend starting to form, but stalling out within this demand zone here. So price action has a few different options from this point. We could potentially push up and push back into this untested level here, cause this to drop down lower and retest this little demand down here. Or, we could just completely come out bullish and then create new highs back into these untested levels here and even possibly back up here. So When you jump down to the 4 hour, you do see that lower high trend continuation back into the little demand zone here. There's another one under here. So what you could potentially expect is price to sweep both of those levels coming down into this little 4 hour order block, potentially push back bullets. If we break here, then yeah, it's a wrap. You're coming all the way down and then potentially retest some of these zones down here. When you bring up the analysis, this is what I'm looking for. We got our daily trend is bearish, 4H pattern is making lower lows and lower highs. 1 hour setup, wait to see how price action breaks out of the range. If we go short, then look for profits at the 4 hour order block. If we go long, expect to look to make new highs. So that's just what I got for the DXY. This is previous week price action. You got a double top here, sending price shorter. You got the retest breaking away from that double top and it just continuing to melt. This price action is really extended. So I would like to see how we get out of this consolidation zone right here / continuation pullback phase. I do have this little ghost level marked up here as a possible resistance, simply because and only because of what price action has already shown us failure to break above that level, looking for a continuation and push lower. If we break above here, consolidate within this level, continue to above this little 1 hour level here, this little blockage level here, I really don't know. It would be, for the most part, waiting to see how price action reacts, and then only looking for break and retest trades because of all of this jumbo mumbo over here. Coming up the gold, looking at the weekly, refresh there. We are coming off the back of an uptrend. We did pull back right into this little I guess you can call that supply zone because it pushed blocks up, and then so supply zone, and then we got the reaction from that zone over here, creating new intraday highs, pulling back. Once I see price action like this that's showing the pullback, I'm expecting new highs after that point. And when I don't get new highs, then I start to look to see, are we reversing the trend? This big bullish impulse, you got this solid retracement, but then after the solid retracement, you don't get new highs. You got a lower high. So what I'll be looking for this, and this is on the weekly, so that's a lot of information to break down. You got the highs, you got the lows, no new highs, actually a lower low. So then your price action, my thought process starts over the high, low, lower high, even lower low, and then equal highs here. So pretty much like DXY, if we break above here, going to test these highs. If we come back lower, we got this wiggle fill down here. When you bring up the analysis, pull down to the 4 hour. Last week's price action was bearish. I guess you can call it pennant flag. That's more of a flag than a pennant, in my eyes, anyways. So what I see, we have some ghost levels in between. We got a key level of where price broke out from. We could potentially retest that and push up, or if we break through here and close below, we come back down all the way to the previous breakout zone. Daily trend I have marked up as bullish, making higher highs and higher lows. 4H pattern, higher highs and higher lows. And the 1 hour setup is to see where price potentially stalls out within this range, and then see if we push up to this 4 hour level that's not that's untested, or if we come back down to fill this wick down here. So those would be my thought processes and things I'll be looking for on gold. Like I said, I haven't traded gold much recently because I just don't like how the price action been holding up. 1 second. All right, I'm back. All right. Quick little phone call, but yeah. Like I said, price action is bullish here, coming up to the resistance on the higher time frames. As you can see, we're already seeing the reaction is bearish. I guess you can call that candle close, but this bearish close here, like I said, either find resistance on top of this level or this level, pick it up to this level. If not, just see how price action breaks out of this zone. On to the beloved GJ. Play. Looking at the week, coming off the back of this uptrend, got high, got a high potential break of that lower low, but not really. And then they pushed up higher And then now we're retesting that previous lower, previous higher low. Looking at this on the weekly, we kind of got something like a head and shoulders type movement going on right there. So if we respect this lower high, then you kind of can expect price to fall out and start somewhere down in here. Put your fibs on it. This is on a weekly time frame, so that's a lot of data to break down. Coming to this price action, as you can see, trending downward, equal highs, equal lows. So that would be the start of a range for me. So you definitely would need to see price close above this level at 153, the 153, 200. I would like to see it get above the 500 level to confirm that we're going up to 154 in the, previous, 154 and higher to make, new highs. If not, then we could possibly continue to range within this level. And then you possibly come back down as far as 147,380, which is where I thought we was going, previously after we tapped into that order block. But what I'm starting to realize within my trading, especially, is I look for these levels to be hit too quickly. I've got to slow down my thought process as far as how much time it's going to take to get to these levels. Because last week, like I said, I saw price pushing into this 4-hour untested level, and I immediately expected it to just crash. And right now, it's just consolidating. So potentially with the entry that I had at it was 152, 215. I dropped it down over on my instance. So if you want to see those entries and those setups, follow me over at Professor Pippage on Instagram, and then you can see that entry. But if I would have kept stops above, potentially that trade could be still running over the weekend, and then just see where it falls to as this week plays out. This is an untested level down here, so that's potentially where we could be going if we don't go to create new highs. Right now, this bullish pressure looks to be exhausting simply because as you see this bearish pressure come back down, we have momentum, slowdown right here, and then continuation. Right here we pushed up, we had a slowdown, and the candles just don't seem to be producing as big as they should be in my eyes to say that we got enough bullish pressures to break this level and then continue to make new highs. So when you add the analysis to it, I have my daily trend is bullish, 4-hour pattern making higher highs and higher lows, 1-hour setup, waiting for price action to clear up. Because right now, like I said, we did push into this 4-hour level of untested. We see the orders that it's gathering and collecting. What I kind of expect is for price to manipulate this level, and if we're going short, come back down and then sink. But yeah, we could just be waiting for this level, this current price action to pull back down to some of these zones, or even test the previous 4-hour intraday higher low that gave us the new highs on the intraday time, and see if this level is enough to push us up to create new highs. So those are my thought processes and plans and expectations on TJ. On to AU, like all that weekly time frame. What I see here is, like I said, off the back of a bullish trend with somewhat triple top triple top retracement back into this slight demand zone. I see that we did create support and we closed above. So you got a high, you got the low, lower high, lower low. We have not closed above the previous. If on the daily you count this level as your previous lower high, then we did close above. But if not, then it's this level up here. And then as you can see, consolidated gave you a new low. So I would call this now a bullish trend or start of a bullish trend. What I want to see is a correction, finding some support, and then create some more new highs to continue on that bullish trend. But right now, we just can close above this previous established lower high. And right now, price is just pushing. At some point, it's going to exhaust. It's going to exhaust hard because I will see this as overextended. I do see 3 white soldiers right here, same as you see right here. But at the same time, after these 3 white soldiers, you did have that retest. So we want to see how price action opens up. When you add the analysis to it, we have this untested level here on a 4-hour time frame. My bullet continuation zone. So we did close above the consolidation, as you can see on the 4-hour time frame, continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. My notes I got here: price action pushing to a weekly order block. coming down, price action pushing to a weekly order block. The reaction created a new intraday high, which is over here. Expecting this to short long term. So I'm thinking when I was marking this up, if we push back up into this level, because we've obviously grabbed a lot of orders from this level. And what I've seen in the past is when you have this type of setup, price action chart, whatever, price likes to tap into that zone, shows you the reaction, comes back to retest, and then it just falls on way out. So looking at this, I would expect price action to push into this level and then come back and find some resistance above the continuation buy zone and then push higher. I do have that. I'm expecting this to push short long term, but I just don't think we are quite ready for that. I think it'll be after, we get up into this level and see how the market reacts. Intraday time frame, small time frame, these are the setups I'll be looking for. Continuation buys above that level. I do see we stalled out here, so we could potentially come back down to this previously higher low, high, low, high, yeah, and then see if we can take buys from that level. If not, close and break below, sales below here, retest, and then continuation sales down into some of these levels, even possibly all the way back down to the 72,800 level continuation to push us higher. It all depends. You got to see what price action is doing. Yeah, the bias is bullish right now, but just let price action open up and show you where I want to go and show you what it wants to do and then get busy that way. UJ, I do not like UJ at all because overall, from weekly time frame on down, it's all consolidating. You go to the weekly, hide all the analysis, refresh, and you can see we got a high, we got a low. You can potentially call this a higher high. And then, yeah, that's it. It's just compressed and it's stuck within this 111.722 level and as far as the 107 level. So that's on the weekly time frame. When you come down to the daily, you see it compresses even more, and then on 4 hour, it compresses even more. So you bring back the analysis. You got a weekly wick fill down here. You got consolidation here off of the back of this big bearish impulse to the downside. So I would expect this to break out bearish, but you never know. Price action does what it wants. Some people have more inclinations, more experience, and more thought processes on what's going to happen after this type of price action. I don't. So I'm going to sit back and wait and see what's going to develop, how this is going to break out, and what possible scenarios it's going to create for us. Lastly, I got GU. And you hide the analysis, you go out to the weekly time frame. It's compressed just like some of the other pairs that we've looked at. Off the back of this bullish trend, your last high, higher low, potentially new highs on the lower time frames that close above, and then sort of a retracement. But on that retracement, we did close below this area that went to push for new highs. So for me, that catches my attention because this could be a possible reversal. As you see, we have not created new highs. And price action is actually stepping down instead of stepping up. So once you bring back the analysis, I don't really see any levels over here. I really call out that say, oh yeah, we're gonna hit right there and then we're gonna stop and then we're gonna go one direction or another. So I just kind of focus on this current price action here, seeing that this is a high, potential low, higher low, lower low, potential equal higher lows, lower highs, and then potential this is just kind of funky. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. This could be potentially a new lower high that created the new lower low. So that means if this price action closed above your previous high or low, creating this to be a bullish trend with a new, you got the low, you got the high, you got a higher low. This should create, this is an unconfirmed higher low. And this should push above to confirm that this is your new high low, but if not, then these are the areas that are being respected, the previous high and the previous low that are being respected, and we're now bouncing in between that range. That's on a daily time frame. So this intraday trend is quite bullish. Going back on the 23rd, the 20th of August, all the way up until now. We have kind of exhausted back into this little resistance zone that was here previously. As we pushed down, we couldn't break. As we pushed back up, we couldn't break. So I would like to see how price action get out of this range, just like the other pairs. I mean, for the most part, yeah, you can probably try and guess. This this trend right here is currently bullish, so I would wait for price to come back down into some of these levels and see if we can take the buy back up. If this level doesn't hold, potential continuation shorts back into some of these levels that pushed us into those highs in the first place. So it's mostly a waiting game. It always is on the Sundays, and it's nothing but probablys and possibilities. And the thought process should be let price action open up and show you what it wants to do. You can sit and guess all day on what you think price action is going to do, but until it actually shows you which way it wants to go, you really don't know. And then you got the people out there who say they do know. Well, probably pump faking, but. It's your boy, Professor Pivots. My weekly analysis. I did not get into too many cryptos this weekend. I looked at XRP. I had a level I wanted to execute from. It didn't reach. So I just kind of left it alone. When I came to the charts, price was creating this little downtrend. And what I had was if we are failing to break this level, then we're going to potentially push up and create new highs. If not, we're going to potentially push down. And as you can see, I kind of had it, charted with this little position here. I did not execute on these, but these were the thought processes. And I put them on the chart so that once I came back, I knew what I was looking for. But what actually happened was what I thought could possibly happen. I figured we would probably pull all the way back down to the zone, or we would stop above this little doji candle right here, which is what actually happened. It did it twice. So when I came back to the chart initially, like all this price action had to happen, we pushed down into this doji and I saw the reaction. You go down to the 30-minute time frame, you see it a lot better. So I was like, that's probably going to be a wrap on that thought process. But what happened was it actually came back, and I did not get in. I didn't see this until I woke up, and then it continued to move, which I thought it was going to do. So I would have had an entry from here and then looking to take profit somewhere back above those highs. Like I said, it's your boy, Professor P. Welcome to the youth.